Do I want to double anything in particular? Maybe the HP plus. Is there a reason they disappear before attacks? Just an animation. I don't know why. They don't actually disappear. It's just like the animation of the attack. Let's go and see money. Alright, time for the first Genova boss. I don't know a lot about... You're talking about, like, the remaster, right? Alright, so Genova Birth. First of all, as mentioned before, there's a glitch that was found last year, I think, that allows you to duplicate the Ifrit materia in this room, and in addition to duplicating the Ifrit materia, you also get to duplicate this boss fight. So you can actually fight this boss fight an infinite amount of times and get the rewards an infinite amount of times using that glitch. Which I think this is the only boss in the game that's possible that I can think of. I can't think of another boss so you can do the double boss glitch to fight a lot of bosses in the game twice, but not infinitely. Because there's fights in this room, like the actual fight that this boss shows up in, there's also random encounters. That means you can get a preemptive battle on this fight, just like the apps fight. So every once in a while when you're playing through Final Fantasy VII, you will get into a preemptive fight here, and it looks pretty funny. The tail laser attack that Genova uses is the same exact tail laser attack that Guard Scorpion uses. It's the same animation. I think even the damage is the same. You know, obviously with Guard Scorpion, it's a counter, so you can avoid it, but here she just uses it normally. And she also can use it twice in a row. But because it's not a counter, and because she uses it twice in a row, I'm pretty sure the like damage calculation is also exactly the same. So it's like the exact same attack. She follows a pattern in her AI. She uses stop. She waits 2 turns. She uses laser. She uses tail laser. She uses W laser. She uses gas, and then she repeats. But she can only use stop 3 times before running out of MP. There's a check in the AI so that when she runs out of MP, she won't display the ran out of skill power message. But there's no replacement attack, so she just skips that turn. So after you go through 3 whole cycles of her using stop, she will skip 3 turns in a row when she gets to the stop part of her AI. What else? The other 2 Genovas have like an element attached to them. So there's the Genova Life has the water element and Genova Death has the fire element. And it seems like this one was supposed to have poison element because she's immune to poison and she uses the gas attack that looks like it's supposed to cause poison, but it's actually just a non-elemental attack and doesn't cause poison. And the rest of her attacks are just physical attacks. So it seems like at one point they thought about, you know, Genova Life will be water, Genova Death will be fire, and Genova Birth will be poison. But then maybe thought that poison was like too OP for this part of the game or something. So they just removed that. And she still uses the gas attack, but it doesn't give poison. And she is immune to poison, which is actually kind of big because most of the bosses up to this point you can kind of cheese with poison, but this is the first big boss that you can't. But they didn't go all the way and ever cause poison to you or anything. It's kind of a shame with the Genova fights because they are really hard if you don't cheese them. Like, Genova Life is insane. Water, Aqualung does stupid damage. Like, one-shots you. If you're not overpowered or have HP plus, it one-shots you. But, obviously, you can just cheese it. And then Genova Death can put together some nasty combos and attack like 4 times in a row. But you can just cheese it. So yeah, it's kind of a shame. I mean, if it weren't for the water ring, I would be willing to say that Genova Birth is like overtuned almost. Like, she does not mess around. Even this fight, I mean, I think it's definitely the hardest boss up to this point. Easily. I kind of want to show... How much health does she have? Okay, I'm going to get her down to, like, low health. I kind of want to show her skipping 3 turns, because it's kind of funny. Even on fastest battle speed. Well, I guess on fastest battle speed it won't be as silly. So, like, notice how fast she attacks here. This is the end of her attack here, and then... One Mississippi, 2 Mississippi, 3 Mississippi. Takes her about 3 seconds to get a turn. There she skipped a turn, so it took a bit longer. Here she's going to skip 2 turns. Because she always does after stop. And then that's a regular attack. And then... That's kind of how long it takes. Here, I can even show it on Ultima here if I can move it in the frame. So here's her ATB. So watch her ATB go up. That's like 1 turn. And she skips a turn before stop. Then she's going to use stop. And then she'll skip 2 turns. So 1, 2... Then this is her real turn. And then here's like what a normal turn looks like. But now, when she's done with, I think, what did I say, debut laser, I think? Let me go back. No, after gas. After the gas attack. Oh, there you go. She didn't even use gas. So yeah, look at how many turns she just skipped. That was like 4 turns. She just stood around doing nothing. So you can't really tell too much on fastest battle speed, but on slowest battle speed, she'd just be standing there doing nothing forever. Can I change? I can't change the battle speed mid-fight, can I? That'd be amazing if I could. Nah. that'd be such a not necessary change. Yeah, I'm not sure why she didn't use gas. Maybe that also costs MP. She didn't eat her baked beans this morning. No dupe. I don't want to get too strong. Got to give these enemies a fighting chance. Jenova is an alien. I don't think she would understand baked beans. I don't know. I don't know why, but specifically understanding baked beans is wild. Also going creepy. We have about 2 hours left of trivia. 2.5 hours. So perfect. It'll last your whole drive. Jenova introduced baked beans to the Cetra, confirmed. Does this count as enemy trivia because this guy is a bad guy? Pay attention to the guy in the red. Yeet. Did you ever notice the blue pixels on the lighthouse in the top right? Oh, God. That is horrific. On this episode of Let's Ruin Final Fantasy VII. That's incredible. There's a walk mesh up there, really? That's really interesting. No, we're gonna need a close up of that. That is diabolical. Look at that. Look at that. Oh my God. Just a... We have so many of these now, I can't even keep track of them. We really have to do like a ruining Final Fantasy VII playthrough. Just show all the dead pixels and all the mistranslations and all the typos and All the soft locks. God, that is brutal though. That might be the biggest one I've seen. Just an entire row of dead pixels. What in the world? What happened? What? What even happened up there? Good Lord. Is there anything I want to pick up here for trivia's sake? I don't think so. It's such a shame. I have both Yuffie and Red 13 in my party, so we don't get the Red 13 getting kicked, and we don't get the Yuffie at the materia store. I wouldn't mind a revive. Sure, why not? A seal would be nice. Bee 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 boo. Boop boo bee boop boop boop. Boo beep boo bee boop boop boop. Beep boo bee boop boop boop. Beep boop boo bee boop boop boop. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. It's my favorite guy in the game. Yes, sir. Please take the items. Yes, sir. Yeah, I don't think those are actually dead pixels. I think it's the background that they forgot to remove. But it has the same effect. Alright, we got a bunch of enemies to check out here. Let's start on the beach. Whoa, Black Betty. Grand Galan. Whoa, Black Betty. Grand Galan. Gonna shoot us with a gear, Grand Galan. All right. This one has a very fun trivia. So, first of all, we need to let him show his kids. Because I couldn't think of the word gear. I wanted to say drill. I don't know why. I looked in my brain for the word gear, and then drill came up, and I was like, that's not the word for that. And then I had a brain aneurysm for a second. And then I remembered what the word was. Oh, we killed him too fast. Yuffie too strong. Let's try that again. All right, there's Grand Galan Jr. And then we need Junior Jr. There they are. All right, so check this out. For whatever strange reason, Grangalan has a very strange property when they are in Berserk status. So if I give myself a War Gong and throw it, the big Grangalan will only use a special move that he doesn't... I don't think he normally uses it. Actually, no, I think he does, but it's kind of rare. It's an eye attack, and the middle one will also use an eye attack. The Grangalan Juniors will use an extremely rare attack that only exists when they're in Berserk status. So this is the only place you will ever see this attack. So he's only going to use this Triclops attack that will put you in petrification. And the small guys will use Stop Eye, which will stop you. So this fight goes from being like, oh, no big deal, to an extremely scary fight where all three of the small eggs are doing stop attacks, and the middle one is spamming petrification. So it's actually a really scary fight if you do this. Let me do it one more time. Try to get all of them together. And let's save also, because we can easily die here. But yeah, the Stop Eye attack is probably one of the rarest attacks in the game, because they have to be in Berserk to use it. Let's speed it up a little bit. Okay. See if we can get them all this time. So yeah, the whole field of 5 enemies spamming stop and petrify is pretty scary. And then the big one uses Dark Eye, which just gives you darkness, which is lame. So yeah, if you ever wanted to make this fight 10 times harder, put him in Berserk. I actually kind of love the idea of having enemies that are kind of like go crazy when you put them in Berserk and actually become stronger. But this is such a weird one. Like, you wouldn't think this one would be... You would think it would be some, like, Berserker enemy or something, but nope. Do not put the eggs in Berserk. You will pay for it. Fortunately, it does miss quite a bit. The Stop Eye misses quite a bit. So it's not like a instant death sentence. Yeah, that'd be cool if one of these was a enemy skill and you kind of had to do this really scary version of the fight to get it. Like maybe Stop Eye was an enemy skill. That would be cool. They do stop dealing damage, but you can still game over to everyone being stopped and then everyone being petrified. Alright, we have another beach enemy. I think they all actually appear on the beach. I think all these enemies appear on the beach and on the field. All right, we got beach plugs. So beach plugs are obviously well known for giving you the big guard enemy skill, which they don't ever use on their own, but if you manipulate them, you can learn big guard. They also have an ice counter, but it doesn't work as a normal ice counter. If you use any kind of magic on them, their next attack will be ice. But the way it works is it basically just sets their next attack to ice, and they don't even always use it on the character that hit them. It can be on any enemy, but they'll always use ice after you use magic on them. And then another cool thing about these guys is you can use L4 Suicide on them, which will work because they're divisible by 4. And then you can morph them really easily for Turbo Ethers, which is pretty nice. Very easy Turbo Ether farm, especially since they show up in multiples. The fancy shrimp. Yeah, let me see here. Grand beach plug. This one only shows Grand Glands. Do I have to be further? For some reason it says there's no encounters here. Maybe it thinks I'm on the bridge. Yeah, it just says no encounters, though. But I did get into an encounter. Alright. Boo, boo. My jam. Alright, we got Search Crowns and Needle Kiss. So, Search Crowns are great enemies for leveling up limit breaks because they show up in big groups. I always used to use them all the time as a kid to level up like Aerith's limit breaks. They have a difficult Turbo Ether Steel, which is really rare for this early. And they can only use 4 laser 3 times because they only have 30 MP. And they don't have a check for MP when picking moves. So once they run out of MP, they have a 50% chance to skip every turn that they take. Because they don't check to see if they have MP, they just pick between their 2 attacks. And then we have the Needle Kiss. The Needle Kiss has more chance to use Thunder Kiss and double hitting with shoot attack, depending on how much HP he has missing. And it goes all the way to a 50% chance if they're below 25% HP. They also have softs for steel, which is useful against the Cockatolus, which it can also appear with. But the Cockatolus also has softs. So the idea kind of was you fight this thing and the Cockatolus, which petrifies you. And you're supposed to steal the softs from these guys to help with the fight. But they also made it so you can get softs from the Petrify Bird anyway, so it's kind of a moot point. But I think that was the general idea. Tell you what, I always dog on Matcha Magic, but it's kind of still decent just for quickly dispatching weak enemies. Bum, bum, bum. All right, we got the Bloat Float, a great name. They use Spiky Hell as a counter to magic, but they only do it a single time. The counter does exactly 200 damage to the highest HP member. You can, however, manipulate them yourself, and then you can use that attack an infinite amount of times. So it's not like an MP thing. It's just, for some reason, the AI has it only use the counter once. So I believe if I do something like this, then I don't kill them, Cloud will get goofed. Actually, it might all get goofed. Yeah. We're gonna get smashed here. So yeah, don't use all magic on these guys. But fortunately, they only do it once. But it's kind of a cool gimmick they do. That's actually kind of dangerous. Especially because they show up in 4s. I should plop revive on you. Also, do I want to level up Seal? Maybe. Bum, bum. Bum, bum. Oops. It looks like it updates each hit, as you saw there. Alright, now we got the Cockatolus. Great name. This is an obvious mistranslation to cockatrice. I don't know why. I guess they just didn't know that that's a word, so they translated it as Cockatolus instead. They have a cool gimmick where they give slow numb, but they also have soft on their tables. So the idea is they petrify you, but then you can steal from them to save yourself. But honestly, it's definitely one of those mechanics that the enemies are just kind of too weak for it to matter. You can kill all the enemies here pretty quickly, so usually you'll just end up killing all the enemies before you get petrified. I do really like the model, though. It's a really cool enemy. Yeah, I know you can use Cure All in the menu. I just tend to not to because I don't really care. Don't really run out of MP very often anyways. And sometimes I forget that a character has all because you can't tell unless you press the button. Okay, I know we have at least one more enemy. Yeah. We got one more and then the bombs, which we have some real fun trivia for the bombs, if you haven't seen it. Oops. Didn't mean to do that. Those of you that were here for the absolute lowest level, you'll know what the trivia is. Yeah, these items are kind of a troll because they're super missable if you do what the game tells you to do. How's it going, Jamage? I think I want to level up the transform materia for later. Maybe. I will anyways, just in case. Do-do-do. Ba, ba, ba. Ba, 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 ba. There he is. The Bagnadrana. So, the Bagnadrana has a stealable diamond pin, and he morphs into a guard source, which you can do really easily by using L4 Suicide, because he's divisible by 4. And also, this is the first of many guidebook trivias, as you'll see. This is from the official Brady guide. For whatever reason, they spelled this enemy's name as Bagnarada. So they forgot the D. Instead of Bagnadrana, it's Bagnarada. So they misspelled him in the guide. And there'll be plenty more of those because the guide is very scuffed. Yeah, the Brady guides are they're good, but also like oof. They're good, but have a lot of typos and stuff. Like typos that don't really affect too much usually. Unless we're talking the Final Fantasy IX one, of course. I always thought that guy had a pretty cool enemy model as well. He's pretty memorable enemy. Good luck, Trebek. Do I take the Phoenix Downs? I always like how Red 13's like losing his mind in this scene. Let's use Chocobuckle. Bonk. It's the source of the baby Cloud joke. Because if Tifa's in that scene, she says, like, they look like you, Cloud. If I remember correctly. And if you let Red 13 eat the birds, then you get the Red 13 date at the Gold Saucer. Alright, time for a fun one. I don't think I'm even going to go down there to grab the sources. I don't care. Not going to use them anyways. How's it going, Narcant? Alright, so time for some fun bomb trivia. I need to actually... how can we do this? I could just buff Cloud's damage, maybe. I need to be able to kill him before he explodes, and I don't think we have the damage to do that, actually. We do with Beta, but I'm pretty sure he absorbs Beta. Let's... Can I boost Cloud's magic in fight? Pretty sure I can. Let's buff Cloud's magic and see if he can one-shot. So the way this works is you kill a bomb. I didn't do enough. I wonder if that didn't... I wonder if the bonus doesn't apply until I reset the fight. Or maybe now it'll apply? No. I could just set his HP to 1, I guess. For the sake of showing it. Alright, so I set his HP to 1. Now we're going to kill him with Bolt, and at the same time we're going to throw a Phoenix down on his dead body. I think this works even if there's not multiple enemies. No, it doesn't. Okay, we need 2. Let's start a battle with 2 bombs. Alright, so we're going to set this bomb's HP to 1. Then we're going to kill him with a bolt, and we're going to throw a Phoenix down on him at the same time. And this needs to be before he dies, otherwise he won't have the target. So now he's back. And fun fact, you can do that with like any enemy. Now he's going to bomb blast. So the way this works is normally if you kill an enemy and then you throw a Phoenix down on their dead body, they'll just revive and be normal. But because of the bomb's AI, when it gets revived, it gets confused and thinks that it should bomb blast. So it bomb blasts, but because I'm guessing the way it works is like the bomb blast doesn't remove him correctly because he was just revived. So normally when he bomb blasts, he gets removed. But here, he doesn't get removed, so now we have an invisible bomb here. And now, if we do the same thing again, we kill the invisible bomb. Ah, I did it too slow. We'll try again. I didn't realize no one had their turn. Also, Red 13's gonna die. Alright, so we'll give the bomb 1 HP. We use Bolt on it. And a Phoenix down. Good thing I got the Phoenix downs from the birds. So now he's back and he's gonna bomb blast. And he still has 150 HP, even though he bomb blasted. So now we're going to set his HP to 1 again. And we're going to do the same thing. And then this happens. So his model gets a little goofed. And you can continue to do this. He's now like way up in the air. Like you can't even see the finger because he's like way up in the air. But we can continue to do this. It'll just get more and more confused. Now he's got pieces all over the place in the sky. Let's just attack him normally now. So we can see how high the camera goes. So there you go. So we figured that out during the absolute lowest level challenge because we actually found out that this is probably the only fight in the game. Maybe you can do it with grenades too. But this is the only fight in the game that you can get a kill without getting any XP until you get to movers, which give no XP. But doing this in a certain way will give you a kill for the bomb, but not give you any spoils from the bomb. Because it counts the kill, but then it gets revived and uses Bomb Blast and removes itself. So that was, we were trying to figure out a way to grind limit breaks without getting XP. And you could theoretically do it with bombs, because you could kill the same bomb over and over again without getting spoils. It would take a really long time, but you could theoretically do it. And the only other place you could do it is the North Crater with movers, because they don't give XP. This would be the only way to do it before getting to the final dungeon. Oh, and also we have some concept art for the bomb, which I really like this concept art. The best thing about this concept art is bomb with the bomb in the name. And it looks like they had an idea for like a fire geyser attack coming out of his head. I like the little smoke clouds coming off. It's a great concept art. And that should be it for Mount Coral. So now we're good until we get into the prison.